committed to you. Fox Carolina, the 6 o'clock news starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shale Remien. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. All new right now, intense scene footage coming from Anderson County this evening. The Centerville Fire Department rushed to Whitner Avenue to find a building taken over by a fire. We know at least 50 to 60 tires surrounding that building were also on fire when firefighters got there, leaving that building, as you can see, a total loss. Some interesting details, though, coming from a neighbor. They tell our crew they saw a group of people go inside the building right before it caught fire. We're still working to confirm that at this hour. And take a good look at your screen. Have you seen this woman? Spartanburg County deputies are looking for Shanessa Gladden. She's considered armed and dangerous. After interviewing the victims, deputies tell us she appeared between two cars at an apartment complex parking lot and started firing at the victims with a pistol. One of the shots hit the victim, the other right into the car they were in. Investigators are still looking into the shooting along Crest Circle as they search for this woman, Gladden. If you know where she is or who she is, please call 911 immediately. A woman is facing charges after stabbing her boyfriend after physically attacking him. Spartanburg County deputies say they responded to Thompson Chapel Road Friday night for a domestic disturbance. They found a man suffering from a large cut on the right side of his lower back. He filled deputies in, saying his girlfriend punched him and stabbed him with a kitchen knife. He told deputies it all started as he and Linda Lemons, this woman, got into a fight at the grocery store and on the way home. She punched him multiple times in the face. The report shows Lemons allegedly told her ex-boyfriend she was punched in the face by her current boyfriend and that she needed to be picked up, claiming she feared for her life. She is currently inside of the Spartanburg County Detention Center, facing multiple charges. In your COVID-19 update, DHEC announcing nearly 13,000 new cases in their most recent update. That breaks down to over 9,300 confirmed cases and 3,600 probable cases. Officials say more than 29% of recent tests have come back positive. The Biden administration signed its first contracts with COVID-19 test manufacturers. The Department of Defense awarded a $51 million contract to Gold Belt Security, LLC, to deliver over-the-counter testing kits. The administration also awarded a contract to California-based Revival Health to procure more than 13 million tests. Now, as you know, this is part of President Joe Biden's efforts to distribute 500 million free rapid tests throughout the country. The new tests will be made available this month and will reach Americans through the mail. Happening right now, Prisma Health is once again limiting visitors in the wake of the new surge of COVID-19 cases. The hospital system says visitors will not be allowed for most patients. They will instead need to wait in their cars or off-site once a patient is checked in. There are a few exceptions, though. Patients under the age of 18 or adults arriving accompanied by a child. Patients with care needs or who are unable to give consent, or a patient who arrives with an adult with care needs. End-of-life events are also excluded in all of this. We want to switch gears to a look at our forecast meteorologist, Bob Trahey, joining us. And Bob, definitely cold out there, but
yes,
pretty typical for this time of year, too.
It is. You know, this is typically the middle of winter, and this is the coldest time of year. So it was cold out there. We had a cold morning, and this afternoon was pretty chilly as well. We had a lot of sunshine, but now the sun's going away, so the second half of the weekend not as nice as the first half. But look at these highs. Now, this is more January-like. This is not 60s and 70s like we saw at the end of last year. This is temperatures more indicative of what we should be seeing this time of year. 45 in Greenville today, 46 in Anderson, 47 in Toccoa after a very cold start into the 20s. 44 in Clemson. Asheville, you topped out at 41, and Greenwood at 46. The blue skies are gone. Look at this. These low clouds streaming in from the south. They've been doing that for the last couple of hours, and they'll be thickening up as we go through the overnight hours. So what that's going to do is really prevent our temperatures from tanking. They'll fall, but not like they would if it were clear. 44 in Greenville right now in Lawrence, 43 in Hartwell, but Asheville 37, Waynesville 37, and Hendersonville at 34. The winds are coming in out of the east at around 4 to 8 miles per hour at the present time. And here's Fox Radar 3D. You can't see the low clouds, but they're streaming in from the south as cold high pressure is sliding away. And back to our west, we're watching Sunday's weather maker. This cold front across the Midwest to the Gulf Coast. On the northern side of this, look at this. This is freezing rain and sleet across central Illinois into Indiana and the Ohio Valley. Farther to the south, just plain rain across areas in the middle Mississippi Valley. And they had severe weather earlier on into the Houston area around that region. They had some tornado warnings. So we're not worried about severe weather, but we will be watching the clouds increase as we go through the overnight hours. And I'm concerned that at the onset of this drizzle, some of that could be freezing drizzle across some of the higher mountain valleys where the cold air is trapped. So that's certainly a possibility as we go into Sunday morning. And then we start to see the more steady and heavy rain building in as we go into the afternoon, noon to 3 p.m. You can see the heavy rain spreading from the mountains on into the I-85 corridor by 6. So it's going to be a soaker, maybe some rumbles of thunder as well, and still kind of rainy and long and south of I-85 as we go into the 9 o'clock time period. But then things start to dry out. This could end as a little bit of wintry precipitation, maybe some snow across the higher terrain. Really not a big deal. As far as the rain totals go, right now I'm thinking a half inch to an inch, maybe close to 9/10 in Newberry with about 7/10 into Greenville. So certainly a good soaking on the way. For tonight, we're looking at a low of 32 with increasing clouds, and I think that will remain liquid precipitation across the upstate, just plain drizzle later tonight on into tomorrow morning. And for the mountains, 28 for you with increasing clouds, and do watch out for some of that patchy freezing drizzle early on. For the upstate, 8 a.m., just a plain rain, 40, and then by noon, 45. It's going to be cold, and then the steady and heavy rain builds around 4, 49. And for the mountains, 40 for you early on. The onset of that steady rain around noon, 50. And by 4, around 52. So we've got a lot of rain on the way, but a dry and more cold weather headed our way as we head through the work week. I'll have that 7-day forecast coming up tonight on the Fox Carolina News at 10. Shale?
Bob, thank you for that update. Developing in Greenville County, a man shot in the head earlier this week has died. The shooting happened on Dalton Road off of Piedmont Highway. Now, we brought this to you as breaking news Wednesday, if you'll remember. The coroner says his name is Colt Poor. He died yesterday at Greenville Memorial, with his death now being ruled a homicide, but no arrests or charges have been filed at this hour. A 15-year-old boy shot in Anderson County is expected to make a full recovery after being airlifted to the hospital. Deputies now confirming the teen was actually shot at the Stop-A-Minute gas station, then dropped off at someone's doorstep nearby on Gordon Circle. We spoke to witnesses at both scenes. Matt Koufax has more on what we know so far.
They said that he was shot down here at Stop-A-Minute. They dropped him off here. I don't know if they got the kind of car dropped him off or what, but they just said that he'd come beating on the door saying, "I've been shot."
Charlene Stevens says her 20-year-old daughter has known the 15-year-old who showed up at her door on Gordon Circle with a gunshot wound for years.
She was friends with the victim, but I guess it was the closest place to where the shooting happened at, so he came here to get help.
According to Anderson County deputies, that 15-year-old was shot at a gas station a quarter mile from the home where he was discovered around 3 p.m. Friday afternoon.
I heard a gunshot this afternoon, one gunshot.
Linda Kane lives in a home right behind the Stop-A-Minute. She says she wondered what all the commotion was about.
Crimes increased, seem like. You know, that's what I've noticed.
She adds after she heard the shot, she heard the sirens.
I'm just praying the Lord will catch whoever done it and save their souls.
Who shot this 15-year-old victim is still under investigation. So are the why and how. Charlene says her daughter and their family are shaken, but are thankful it didn't end worse.
I'm just glad it's going to be okay and that it didn't actually happen here, even though we're going through all this, you know.
Meantime, deputies say a man is facing charges after vandalizing City Hall in Asheville. Officials found profane graffiti on the side of a city building, with these rocks actually thrown into the windows at City Hall. We know what happened between December 11th and the 31st, and police say the messages written on that say, quote, "You started a war, you're waging a war." Now, Reese Jaczek is now charged with 2 counts of defacing public property, among others. Police say he and several other activists were also recently banned from all city parks after being charged with trespassing and resisting arrest during a protest in Ashton Park right there on Christmas. Also happening in Asheville, dozens of guns stolen from a shop, and now police need your help finding the suspect. Investigators released these surveillance photos to us, explaining the suspect broke into Carolina Guns and Gears on Sweeten Creek. Police arrived to find the front door completely removed. Employees say about 33 guns were stolen. And these images showing the suspect grabbing those guns and shoving them into a large black and red duffel bag. The suspect drove off in a silver car. Anyone who knows anything about this, please call Asheville Police. And you'll want to stay connected with us through our free Fox Carolina News app as we get any new updates into our newsroom from 6 o'clock until 10 o'clock. We'll be sure to pass them along to you on our late night newscast, and you'll want to download our free Fox Carolina News app, where we work around the clock to bring you updates directly to your mobile device. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play. Until then, we'll see you on the 10 o'clock news.